see yourself? You good?
Yes.
We're on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Relationship Method Podcast. I'm Chris, and today we have a delightful guest. She was coming from a previous shoot, so she made time for your boy named Jenny. Yay! Thank you for coming on, girl.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ooh, girl. Before we dig into this podcast, question. How did I get the yes?
Oh, I mean, I'm a yes girl. I feel like every opportunity is a way to just grow, challenge yourself. I've only been on one other podcast, so I feel like, and you're a cool dude. Like, I've seen some of your stuff. I do my research, make sure it's not like a weirdo situation.
Oh, I know, right?
You
Hey,
don't
this
know
motherfucker
what
likes
you're stepping
toes. You need to
into.
stop.
I've been asked to do some like boudoir sets, and it's a little looking off. So I'm like, but you look legit, so I'm here.
Yes, I shot my shot. I got the yes. Man, it's okay, man. If you get the no, it's all. Life moves on.
You got to try anyways.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
I do appreciate you. And where were you coming from prior to this?
Kaimuki.
Kamuki. For people
in
that don't know where that is, like me.
So it would be kind of right between town.
Okay.
Honolulu, and like Ainahaina, like if you know where Koko Head is in Hawaii Kai, I'd say it's kind of right in between.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
were you doing there?
Well, that's kind of like where I stay.
Okay.
But I had gone from a previous photo shoot this morning. Pretty
Oh,
early.
nice. What time did this photo shoot start, if you don't mind me asking?
6 a.m.
Ew. Yuck.
I'm a morning girl though.
Yuck. Oh, me too. I'm not a morning girl, but a morning guy.
I was gonna say.
My morning starts at 2.
Oh,
I'm a 2 a.m. kind of dude.
That's insane.
Military messed me up.
oh, I bet.
But
So what time do you go to bed?
when my babies go down, they go down at 7 because
Okay.
they need their sleep for school, right?
Yeah.
So they asked me to stay with them in their room. I don't sleep on their beds, right?
Yeah.
But I'm on the on the floor.
Yeah.
Right. So I go on my phone. I'm on the floor. I'm waiting for them to go to sleep. Guess what happens? I fall asleep
night.
on
Yep.
the floor. So luckily for me, like my wife Tiff, she doesn't bother me or nothing. She's like, oh man,
Let
he's
it go.
in there. I guess for her, she gets to do her own thing
Right.
too.
Yep.
Her me time without the hub.
Love it.
So so I sleep around that time, and then when I wake up, I value my me time too.
Yeah.
So my me time is when everyone's dead asleep. That's my little time to catch up on sports, walk the
Definitely.
dog.
Yeah.
And also, like, I've been ever since Pearl Harbor, their gym is 24/7 now.
Oh,
So ever since they became 24/7, I'm just shooting my ass
that's
over there.
awesome. Oh,
So,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could be. I used to be that person that would get up at 5 a.m. and go work out. But I mean, I'm a morning person, but more and more, I just want to sleep a little later. I mean, there's some science behind that too. I'm into health, being a personal trainer and all of that, so I listen to a lot of health podcasts. And sleep is so important, especially women need more sleep than men. And as we age, we need more sleep
Really?
for our hormones.
This is a fact?
It's scientifically studied.
How much more hours do women need of sleep than a man?
I don't know that they specifically specified that, and I don't want to get it wrong because I don't want to put some bogus information out
Fucking
there.
do
I'm
it.
not that
Fuck it.
I'm not that influencer that's like, do this, you're gonna have a booty in like 10 minutes. Because there's some influencers that do that, and I don't agree with it. I'm a science
I need a
girl.
booty in 10
I'm not trying to
minutes,
put
yeah.
out there that kind of stuff that's not true.
Yeah.
But it's just we need a little bit more sleep for our hormones.
8 hours good?
I know that there's been a general study on men and women that say that everybody should be to be able to operate at optimal. And that's not to say like, people think that, I can function on 6, but 8 hours is kind of where everybody should be. You don't, even if you feel like you can function, because your body gets used to whatever you set it to, right? But optimally at 8, even better at 9 a lot of times. But it's got to be good sleep, and that's I think the problem. A lot of people don't have very great sleep.
Girl, tell me what bad and good sleep is.
Kind of interrupted sleep. You're waking up plenty of times in the middle of the night. You're not getting 2 hours of deep sleep, which is what you really need. to function well the next day. So what they found was, I know this is supposed to be more of like a relationship thing, but what they
It will
found was
be.
in these studies, I mean, if you don't get sleep, your relationship probably gonna tank. So
Yeah.
there you go. But yeah, so they found that even if you were to sleep less, right? So you have more hours in the day, you would think that you could get more done. Your brain is just not its optimal function because it hasn't had time to repair itself. Your body hasn't had time to repair itself. So you are going to probably get more done at a high level capacity with your brain in when you have 8 hours of sleep versus anything less.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, interesting.
So there's like 1 or 2%, I think, at least this study found that there's like 1 or 2% of people that can actually highly function on 6 hours of sleep.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So going to relation, is it better sleeping um, with a person, or if the person is like, say a couple, like if the person has like a big bed,
Mm-hmm.
she's there or he,
Mm-hmm.
and the other person is on the other side, does that mess up your sleep as well, or is that good for like the sleeping psyche?
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you my take. I don't know that there's been a lot of studies. I know that
Let's hear your
I've
take.
seen or heard of human connection is very important,
Yeah.
right? So I have heard of it being better if you like even just hugging a person. So I would imagine for like longevity, for just in general, living a fuller life, it's good to have human connection and human touch. So I would imagine that having the right human touch and having a night's worth of it, or at least some capacity of it during the nighttime, would be great.
Mhm.
Of course, if that person is kicking you in your sleep or
Yeah,
something, I
right?
can imagine
A
that could ruin
snore,
relationships.
yeah.
Like actually, I have a family member. I won't call them out specifically, but because he snores, he has to go and sleep in a different room. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I don't know. I'm a cuddler, so I don't need all night cuddling, but I need like a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. So I would not really want to be in a situation where my person is in the other room. I just don't think that that's
Yeah,
my
right.
kind of thing.
Like an I Love Lucy situation.
No.
No, but no. The reason why I asked is because I get hot when when I go to sleep. So
Yeah.
Tiff, my wife,
Uh-huh.
we instead of like sleeping together, our feet touches.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Our feet touch.
Mhm.
It's like, all right, I know you're there. 'Cause
Yeah.
My left pinky toe is
Yeah.
touching your big
Exactly.
big white toe.
Exactly.
So we straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I've noticed lately that the little baby's been coming in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh my god. So it's like I'm like, we're all like on the edge of the bed, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's great. How about kids? Like how much sleep do they need? 12?
You know what? That I'm not really too sure
Okay.
of. But I would imagine because they're growing,
Yeah.
they're gonna need. I mean, I am not a sleep expert.
You
I'm
are
just,
not.
From what
You're
I'm
not.
not trying to, But again, I just from listening, and I do a lot of. I'm a nerd, closet nerd. So I guess I just like to hear about these different things so that I can improve myself,
Mhm.
and hopefully the lives of others because I am a coach. So I would imagine because they're growing and their bodies are constantly repairing themselves, they would need more, but maybe at shorter intervals, like nap times,
Interesting.
right? So they use up their capacity, they're smaller people, and then they got to take a nap, and then they have some more. But I think the main thing is, their diets. I think that's what today's society is probably the main
yeah.
thing that's messing all the rhythms up. So.
Oh, girl, let me tell you about my little one's diet. 8 years old
Uh-huh.
guy. He has some BO.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my god, you're only 8, man. But I'm like, I'm hooking him up, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It could be his diet too, though.
Is there a lot of sugar in his diet? Because I know, okay, I went vegan. I'm not vegan. I'm not preaching about vegan. I am whatever works for you, not the one diet for everybody kind of person. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. But I do know, with myself, with others that I know of, when I went vegan, I didn't need deodorant. I
Really?
don't feel like I keep very good hygiene. I shower twice a day usually
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I go to the gym and then I need to shower before I go to bed. But I noticed that I felt like I had less need for it when I was vegan. Because
Okay.
I was also competing in a show, so I
Yeah.
wasn't being like a, what do they call them? Like a vegan that just eats all the crap, right? It was a very, very clean diet, no sugar. There wasn't like a lot of processed anything in my diet, and I just really didn't feel the need. And I was in the gym sweating, so just my body was running cleaner, and I didn't feel the need for it.
I'm the same way. Like I don't. My wife says I don't stink, and I think I stink.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just my psyche, but I'm like, ooh, girl, I kind of stink. She's like, no, you don't. I really don't smell you. I'm like, oh, well, thank you.
Well, maybe it's not a
But
BO
what
thing.
men
Maybe it's
say.
like a pheromones thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, well, and I don't think we can actually smell pheromones, but I think we get a sense of, actually that's like another science too that's kind of interesting. But people are attracted to each other through pheromones. That's why those girls have those like things that the perfumes, they're actual pheromones.
Shut your ass. Is
Yeah,
that
but
real?
everybody like
Oh my
everybody
God.
has a different kind of like natural scent to them that we can really not smell but just sense, and it can repel people from you and it can draw people closer too.
What scents are you attracted to?
Oh,
Like,
like if so, like a
like
male's
a
wearing
like
colognes.
a musky.
Ooh, no,
No.
that smells like old man to me.
Oh, okay.
And I don't like earthy smells. In general, I just don't like the earthy. I don't like incense. I like clean smells. I like beachy smells. Not necessarily on a men, but like for myself, I like coconutty smells, vanilla, and just like that clean smell.
Clean smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming your car smells like a Febreze,
Um,
or the blue kind,
yeah, maybe
or
like
the orange kind. I don't know.
I feel like like the Hawaiian scent. I like that one
The
too.
orange kind.
I don't really love flowery scents, like super
Like
flowery
potpourri?
scents.
Potpourri
Yeah,
or whatever?
no, like
Oh,
none
neither
of that.
do I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too strong. But yeah, just like the clean scents.
Okay. Miss Jenny, what do you do in the outside world?
Oh man, I think
A
it's
lot?
easier. Yeah,
Oh shit.
I do so many things. I don't know if it's a problem. I think it can be a benefit, but I just like to get into everything. Right now I'm working full time at a med spa. I also am a photographer. I also am a personal trainer, and I do a fascia stretch therapy business. I have tons of other hobbies,
So you
but
dabble in
for
everything?
working, those are what I do.
That's your 8-hour gig right there. Just keeping up with clients and stuff.
Or like 12.
Oh, 12? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
No. Like I work 8 hours in the med spa, and then if I have a FSD client, a personal training client, or I have photo shoot to go to, and then I dabble in. I'm not a real model. Like I don't get paid to model, so I don't consider myself a model. I model for fun. I model for like one day I can look back and say, oh look how cool I used to be.
Yeah. So you get asked for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
And they never pay you or anything?
I mean, in the past, I've gotten paid a few times,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm out working for brands yet.
Oh, right?
Hook
her up, y'all. Hook her up.
But I don't know that I would not be the person I don't find fulfillment in, and I'm not going to work as hard, especially at this point in my life. I'm 37 years old. I'm not going to go to wherever might, be suitable for a model to go and just fight my way into the modeling industry.
Yeah.
I'm just not at a place where I want to do that. It's costly. It can be really. I don't want to compare myself to others either. We do it anyways, especially as females. But I find much more value in empowering women, empowering anybody, but especially women. I think that's why I'm a trainer. I think that's why I like photography, is because I like to help pose women in a way that makes them feel super good about themselves. So, yeah, that's kind of me. But yeah, so this morning I was modeling. It was fun. I have a lot more modeling things coming up. I kind of got away from it for a while, but yeah,
Good job.
yeah, it's fun.
Okay. And how did you get into that field? So, like
Into
modeling. How'd you get
modeling?
into modeling? Like, is it one of those? Hey, you're super attractive. Would you like to pose for? Like,
Well,
was it out and open like that, or was it
I
more?
guess if I think back, my sister actually, she had a little stint where she was just into taking pictures, not necessarily as a paid photographer. So she used to take some photos and make me be her model. And so I did that a little bit. And then when I moved, no, actually before I moved, there were a couple of photographers. I think I paid them. And then, of course, I posted them to whatever was at the time, Instagram probably. And then when I moved out here, I
MySpace.
just tended to, I don't know, fall into a group of photographers and models, and we all, work together. And then, of course, from that, somebody else asks you. And from there, I ended up going on a few photo shoot trips with some amazing photographers. I've been to Iceland. I've been to Maui. I've been to, which Maui's not that far, but we did a big group and it was so awesome. And then we went to Greece. Greece was super fun.
Oh my gosh, that's like my bucket list.
Yeah, there's one that's going on in Turkey in September, and I really want to go. It's super expensive, but it's like a dream trip, not only just for modeling, but for the experience itself, it's so cool.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Is it true about Iceland? It's greener than Greenland.
I
And
haven't been
Greenland
to
is
Greenland, so I cannot confirm or deny, but I believe you're right. But when I went, it was actually really cool. It's super. Iceland is wild. It looks like another planet. Like
Yeah.
it's a bunch of rock. Well, again, it's different in different areas. Some of it's just like, some of it's very icy. There was a point where it was really nice out, and then it just started snowing, and we were driving all over the place because everything's super far away from each other.
Yeah.
But we went to the Blue Lagoon, and it was a bit more cold and moss-covered rocks. And then there's like these fields in the middle of nowhere that have like, oh, actually, you know what's there is the waterfall or the wall from Game of Thrones. I saw it. It's not. It's.
Oh!
I know. Sorry, it is. I was like, wait, that's it.
Right.
But it's really,
Is that
it's very
it?
pretty. But like, I was expecting it to be much bigger. But it's definitely CGI or whatever.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Do you watch Lord of the Rings?
I don't.
Oh no. Okay.
I never got into
I was
it.
gonna ask, like, was there anything like similar? But
No.
it was. With these photo shoots, right? Has a photographer ever, or a male model ever shot their shot with you?
I've been really lucky in that I think, too, I have a very good sense of people and when things are... I'm very good at saying no, respectfully, but, if even maybe a photographer has a certain style that I don't really enjoy, and I want to support the photographers that I work with, right? I want to help get their work out there. I think it's just like that's what I'm supposed to do as a model, is make them look good. They're supposed to make me look good in return. And I'm not going to work with you if I don't want to post your stuff. So they could have great work. Somebody else might think that they're awesome. It's just not my style. So I've turned down, a couple of asks before. But as far as like being weirdos, I mean, I've had a couple asks that I've said no to because this situation just sounded weird. Like one asked me, and I've heard stories from models that they've gotten abused. Like they went into like because young girls are very impressionable and they want to get out there. They want to be popular, especially in this age of Instagram influencers, right? Any chance to get themselves out there. But they'll, these men will take advantage sometimes, and not just men. I'm sure there are women that take advantage too. But I was asked to go to this hotel room at one point, and he wanted to do a bathtub shoot. And of course, I'm not going to be wearing anything. There's going to be some flowers floating, and to cover. But it just the inspiration that he sent me looked not great, and it was photos that he had taken, and it just looked very like he just wanted to get me in a tub naked. And I asked, would it be okay if I brought somebody to accompany me? Just out of safety reasons. I don't really like to do these type of shoots on my own, and most professional photographers will say that's not a problem at all, especially when it's a male, female, or situation where somebody might be able to take advantage. And so he just got very irate with me. He's like, oh, maybe I should bring somebody to protect me too. And I'm like, well, you're probably right, but
Oh my God.
I'm kind of strong. But yeah, at that point I was like, oh, good thing I did not go to that one. But I mean, on set, I've not really been in a situation, luckily, where, although, I feel like I just come off as that person who's like,
don't mess with her.
not her. She's not the one.
She's not the one.
She's not the
her.
one.
Not today.
She's nice, but she's not the one.
Ah, okay.
Hopefully they get the nice part.
Oh man, It's funny that you said that because I had several people on the pod that asked if they could bring someone. Mm-hmm. I even had someone bring in their it's a pet. I forgot what they're called.
Like an emotional support.
Yeah. I had one of those, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of that stuff before. So when she brought in her dog, I was like, oh snap. Hopefully, you better clean up that shit. I'm just saying.
Right, exactly.
The dog, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, people be bringing in like their sisters, their boyfriends, their husbands, and I'm like, hey, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not trying to do it.
You're a professional. I mean, there's nothing here that you're trying to hide, right? And that's, I think, that's if they need that for their security. I have an inflated sense of confidence, I think, when it comes to being able to take care of myself. Even when I travel, like I'll travel alone quite a bit, and I don't know, I feel like I got it. I'm like, and I try to be situationally aware, I'm just not on my phone the whole time, or somebody could throw me in a van or something, but Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's good to hear
Oh,
because that makes
thank
you
you.
that much more of a professional and respectable. You know?
Trying.
You know.
Trying. So you and I talked before. You've been on the island for X amount of years now.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
And where you coming from, and what made you decide to Hawaii? Because there's other places on this earth. Say, hey man, I could go to Thailand. I could go to Zimbabwe. Why Hawaii? And
Well, so I kind of did life a little bit backwards. So I was born in Scotland. I was there for 6 months.
oh yeah, eh?
And so my dad was in the Navy. We came over. Anyways, I lived in. I would say I bounced around because we were in the Navy, but I landed mostly in Pennsylvania, and then my dad left. I went to Maryland. My sister lived in Maryland, so I ended up going to college. Well, I worked 7 years in accounting, first of all, and then I realized sitting in a cubicle is not for me. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. And so I quit my job. It was a great job at UPS, but money, I just decided that's not, I could do very well here and continue to grow, but I need to be fulfilled. And I wasn't there. I was stuck in a building, bad airflow, all that in Pennsylvania, where there's not a whole lot going on. So I eventually went to Towson in Maryland, went to college. I got the opportunity to come out here as a national exchange student, and which is something that I had to kind of compete for a little bit. So I got it, and I had visited once before on vacation. I had just said, like, I'm going to live here one day. And I think I must be a super manifestor or something because eventually it did happen.
You've spoken it out to the universe.
Right. Well, and I also have the kind of I know that vacationing here is not the same as living here. I know it's very expensive. I know that I'm going to have to work. I'm not just going to be laying on the beach all day, even though I'm still trying to find a profession where I can do that and survive. But yeah, so anybody looking for a trophy wife, I'm happy to fit the role.
Hey,
Putting it out there.
She cool, man.
I could never see myself not working, but I'd like it to be work. I want to be work optional. That's the goal.
Oh,
but
us all, girl. I want to be a trophy husband, goddamn.
Exactly, right? Shoot my shot.
Yeah, right. Hey, shoot it, yeah.
You got it. There. So yeah. Anyways, I came here. I was supposed to be here for a semester. I extended another semester. I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with people. The people here were so welcoming, so kind that I didn't know anybody when I first came here, and I felt that aloha, and so I think once I know a lot of military people too. When they leave, they want to come back. It's hard to stay away from Hawaii.
I know a lot of people that PCS'd out, and PCS means the person gets orders and they have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they go off and then they ask to come back here. I mean, the BAH is nice. BAH is basic housing allowance. That's nice, and then you get some type of COLA. COLA's because you live off the grid. They give you money for the high expenses out here.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of soldiers are coming back now because they left, I don't know, X amount of years ago. But they're coming back for the station and stuff. So that's crazy that you say that. And me being an outsider, I did feel the aloha when I came. But I felt kind of bad because I couldn't understand a lot of the people here because they speak pidgin and broken English. So I'm just like, what? And me, I'm coming from the hood, so I'm like, oh man, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to ask 4, 5, 6 times, and then but my kids and Tiff, they love being out here. So
yeah,
aloha is real.
It is.
That shit is real.
I mean, sometimes I know looking like the way I do, I don't always get it. I don't expect it. I don't think that it's I am not Hawaiian. I even feel a little bit odd when people call me local, even though I've been here for 10 years, just because I feel like it's a very sensitive issue.
It is.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I've been treated with kindness by most. But I think anywhere you go, I mean, I lived outside of Baltimore, but you're gonna get that no matter where you go. I feel like so I just try to be my kindest to everybody. I like everybody until you give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
Even if everybody in the room, I've always kind of been that person who, if I see somebody's not being talked to, or maybe they're introverted and they haven't made their way into the crowd, come here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think I've been in that situation. I moved around so much that I had to learn how to make friends. And I've been very okay with being alone too. I love being alone, actually.
gosh, me
Probably
too.
too much.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the reasons I'm still single. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's you got to be kind. You got to be kind to everybody. You never know what anybody is going through. Even when people are nasty to me. I mean, I'm Scottish, so I have that internal like bite to me if I need to bring it out. But for the most part, I try to just like, okay, that person treated me that way because they probably have something else going on. It's not because of what I'm doing. I mean, maybe it is, but if that's the case, you gotta act with kindness. Even.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Have you gone clubbing out here or gone to the bars?
Man, I'm getting a little old for that.
Okay.
But I have when I first like Moose McGillicuddy's. Do you remember?
No.
They've closed it now. It closed during COVID. But I used to go down to all their on Lure Street. That was a spot. It was a total shit show.
Yeah.
But it was a fun shit show if that's what you were looking for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so reason why I brought that up is because recently, my friends took me out. Right. We were at a sports bar.
Okay.
And I thought we were going to a sports bar.
Okay.
Okay, and I didn't drive.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid of getting a DUI.
Yeah. Right. Smart.
So we go to this sports bar, and everyone we're having a good time, not drinking a lot, eating a lot though. I was a group of friends, both male and female. Mm-hmm. One of them suggested going to a club. Mind you, I haven't gone to a club in like X amount of years, right? I haven't gone to a bar, I haven't gone to a club, I haven't gone to a strip club.
Yeah.
It's just, the closest thing to a club that I've gone to was like a Chili's, and I'm getting a beer or a Hennessy and Coke, at the...
And there's like a band playing or something.
Yeah, at that spot. That's the closest thing, right? So I went clubbing for the first time. I think it's called Mystic? Something.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of something like that.
It's a place... It's cool because there's two bars. On one side of the bar, they had a video game room.
Oh.
So I was stuck in the video game room. I was like, man, I ain't trying to dance with no
kid.
females. I ain't trying to,
There you go.
I'll get a drink for myself.
Uh-huh.
I'll get a drink for nobody else. But they took me clubbing. And as a young person, I loved it. Mm-hmm. Because, one, the pregame.
Yeah.
I was single at the time. And just bumping into people and thinking like, you're young, you're invincible, right?
Yeah, right.
I go in and I felt so displaced.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I was with my boy the whole time. I was like, hey dude, I felt lightweight anxiety.
Yeah.
Is anxietized a word? I don't know. I just made that shit up right now. My anxiety was going up a little bit. So I was chilling with my boy the whole time. I didn't want to dance with anyone. Like I wanted to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And going through people, like bumping into people, sweaty. That's just nasty to me now. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I think especially after COVID, when you're like, even as a trainer, like I used to be all up. I touch butts, because I want you to make sure that you're getting the right contractions, all that. Even now, I find myself staying back further, and like, I mean, I used to love all that too. I was in the middle of the,
the dance
mosh, whatever.
Oh
I was in there. Now I'm like, well, and I think now too, I don't know if it's an age thing, I don't know if it's a growth thing, whatever it is, but I really value connection. And you can't connect with people like that. Even like, you know what I don't, and I'm going to get so much hate for this, karaoke to me, I cannot do it. I cannot enjoy it because I can't connect with you. Like, I feel disrespectful to the person singing if I'm talking, and then I can only talk to the person that's right next to me because the tables usually are super big, right? So I can't connect to that person or that person or that. It's just, it's not fulfilling to me.
Wow. How so what's a good place to connect with someone? Because I'm like you, and it's funny because me and my friends, we would talk about this. And I'm not trying to tell my wife I want to be single, but if I was single at the age I am right now, it's not even about sex anymore. It's about I'm into your brain. I'm into the actual connection and the conversation. The whole getting in your pants thing. That's like, I'm not even thinking about that. You could be like the ugliest person.
Bonus, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. So, oh my gosh, we're connected.
Look at us.
No, but like, what is a good place for, let's say, people our age to connect with someone?
Well, I think that's the thing is you got to find somebody who wants to connect with you on the things that you enjoy. Like, you both have to enjoy what you're doing. Like, for me, I like to do active things. So I would like to, go, I mean, I'm not great at surfing, but like go surfing and go be bad at stuff together. You know,
Yeah.
I think you have the most fun when you're not that good at something and you go and both just like kind of clown around.
Mhm.
Because I don't think it should be so serious. I don't really love dinner dates. Like I appreciate it. I'm not gonna like, oh my gosh, you asked me to dinner, but I might, you know, the time say like, let's go do something fun. Let's go do something like a hike or like, I'm not. I like the ocean. I'm more of an ocean girl, but let's even go to the beach. But something where we are, you know,
With nature.
with nature, but even like I don't know, rock climbing or like just something I've never done. I love learning new skills too.
Mhm.
So if you take me like there was I'm not gonna name names or anything, but there was we're very good friends now, a German guy who came and it impressed me so much because he doesn't live here. He's from Germany. He was here for a certain amount of weeks. And he took me to do something that I've never done on this island, like active wise. He took me to, oh my gosh, we swam over, it was in Kailua to Flat Island. And there's like a little space over there that's super, super cool. And the fact that he was able to, you know, a lot of guys here, they'll be like, well, what do you want to do? I want you to plan a date. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to cost a lot. It doesn't need to just have some level of effort. Like, if I'm going to get myself made up, if I'm going to do all these things, like, get myself ready for you, like, at least plan the date. If you want to hang out with me, then show me that you want to hang out with me.
Oh, definitely,
you know?
girl.
So I was so impressed that this man who doesn't even live here was able to come up, like, without my assistance with a fun thing for us to do that I had actually never done before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you swam to...
I had fins, he didn't, but I like to free dive.
How's that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, how was that swim? If you don't mind me asking, like, is that a far swim or is that?
I wouldn't have wanted to do it without fins. I was also like surprised that he was very, very fit, but like I'm not a swimmer like that. Like I like to dive, I like to have my fins and the assistant. I don't want to do it for a workout. I want to do it for the experience and like diving, seeing fishes and stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't do it without fins, for sure.
Oh, let me tell you about fins, right? One of my friends took me snorkeling for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Fins and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know how to fucking use it. So, my dumbass was like in a circle. So he told me to go up and down, right?
Yeah.
So we did the whole snorkeling thing.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, it's my very first time.
Mm-hmm.
He took me down with him. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool.
Uh-huh.
I went back up. And then I had the thing. What is it called?
The snorkel.
The snorkel
Yeah.
on, right? Oh my gosh! I tasted salt water, and I thought I was gonna die. Just right then and there, I was like, oh no! You gotta put me back. You gotta take me back. I'm gonna
Yeah,
die.
you gotta blow it out when you come at the top. Yeah.
I lightweight panicked. I was like,
Oh.
dude, what the heck is happening? Because you're in the ocean and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're dead. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, right.
So yeah, that was like my first time doing it. Like I did it again,
Uh-huh.
and I know not to. Like I could spit it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a rule, or I didn't common sense. Right?
Yeah, right.
My dumbass was. Just
Well,
like,
no, but I mean, like, you don't know that if it's your first time doing it, you don't think
Yeah.
about that kind of stuff. You're just like, okay, I'm at the top, I can breathe now.
Yeah, right. So, oh my god. So he took you to this island, right?
Mhm.
And what you got? You just chilled. in
Yeah,
the
there was
pool,
like
huh?
this little like tide pool that we kind of like went in and just sat there and like kind of chilled, and it was just awesome. It was a super nice day. It was something that, and like when you go usually I would get myself makeup and all of that, but he didn't live. So I told him this because if you don't live here, I don't see a long-term benefit. I don't see us connecting on a long term, and I want to do things that. Not to say that I won't want to make friends, but I just didn't want to get his hopes up. I'm not about leading people on.
Yeah.
So I was like, I will totally hang out with you, but it's just his friends, So I didn't wear makeup or anything like that. And he still wanted to see me again. And he was still
Yeah.
interested. And to me, I'm like, oh, well, you've seen me like looking like a swamp rat. Like, you know what I mean? That was awesome to me. That then when I went out and I had makeup on, like I looked that much better than the
He's like,
first time.
"Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. When a man likes you for, let's say, just the way you are, right?
Mhm.
No makeup, no nothing.
Mhm.
And is there an attraction there because he's like, all right, he's not into that superficial stuff? Does that give you like a lightweight green flag?
I
Low-key?
mean, yes.
Uh-huh.
I would say, I think in any relationship, like, of course you want to show your best foot first.
Uh-huh.
I think as you get more relaxed, right, you're gonna see every side.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna, if it works out, wake up together, and you're not gonna have all the makeup on. You're not gonna have the lashes on. So yeah, like hopefully that you're not a completely different person without all that. But yeah, I mean, I would say for me, it's a green flag that we connect well because I want you to enjoy me with or without it. Eventually, if we work out, you're gonna have to see me looking like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll stick on connecting, right?
Yeah.
So as we get older, is it harder to, let's say, when you connect with someone, breaking that connection because we're like more sensitive, more invested in. Like, let's say if that connection doesn't, I guess doesn't pan out the way it's supposed to be. Is it harder for us to, like, say, get back on our feet?
Okay, so I actually haven't been in a relationship in a really long time.
Not even in a relationship, but
like a friendship.
You connected with someone.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, dang, I kind of like you, but.
I think I might be not the. I am very good at boundaries, and if it's not bringing me peace, we're if like a friendship, right? So I'm there for you. If you're going through a hard time, I'm there for you, right? It's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine. I want to be there in your dark moments. However, there is a point to some relationships where it's just darkness, and it's like I'm feeling worse and worse when I hang out with you because it's always complaining or it's just negativity, and like how you have told me the same situation multiple times, but you haven't tried to get out of it. So what are you doing to get out of that situation? Because there's going to be a point where, I want to support you, but I'm not. I want you to grow, because if I'm trying to grow always in one way or another, and you are keeping me stuck, you are bringing me down, and I'm not going to say all this to them, but I'm just going to internally realize this and start to set boundaries of like, hey, when we hang out, let's keep it positive, and I'm going to try to like turn it around, and like sometimes people are just that way. They just are so involved in their negativity.
Debbie Downers, huh?
Yeah. So for me, that's not who I want to be around, and I'm very good at walking away from situations. I think I'm almost too good at it.
But how about the ones that aren't the Debbie Downers? Like they're like just full of positive, like you like being around that person. Boundaries, right? What are the boundaries with that? Like you like being with together, but I don't know, like a part where you're like, you know what, I can't be with you. What are the boundaries there? Like how do you set those boundaries?
I don't know. Because I don't really have a lot of extra time. So when I find people that I connect with, I have like a core group of people that I have to spend my time with, So I am not going to give my energy to just anybody. And if it doesn't, I'm also like, even if you're my family and you're making me feel bad, and because I always try to blame myself first. Like, what could I have done better in that situation? I am all about taking, own your shit.
Accountability.
Accountability. And like, what part did I play in this that I could have maybe done better at? And both parties probably had a role, but what was my role? And like, how can I maybe connect better with this person without changing who I am? And growing as an individual. But sometimes you just have that person in your life, whether it's family, friend, whoever, who's just like sucking more from you, like spiritually, than you really are getting back from them. And when it gets to that point, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my grandma. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if we've been best friends for ages. Like, I gotta let you go until you sort it out. Like, I will be with you for so long, but I'm not gonna allow myself, because I had a really rough relationship. It was a 7-year relationship. And I was very young, and I loved him. He actually had passed away because he got into heroin a couple of years into our relationship. He didn't pass away while we were together. We always stayed friends. Anyways, that was very draining for me, and I think I've always been a person who tries to learn from the situations, right? I don't think going back, I wouldn't not have had that situation happen. I think I've had a lot of growth from it. I know a lot about what I don't want in life, especially from a relationship, but I will never again let somebody pull me down. Not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
slay, girl.
Yeah, I mean, we're not there for that. If that's
Yeah,
the way that
yeah.
that's not a friend, you know, and they should understand that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I tell this to a lot of people. Like, I've already exhausted X amount of years here, so the years that I have left, it's like I'm trying to be with the people that I'm cool with, or
Right.
so putting myself in situations where I'm not gonna get pulled down. I'm gonna
Right.
stay at least afloat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that out.
Yeah. Well, and in the spirit of like owning my own thing, like
Yeah.
if I am being that person who is, you know, for an extended, I'm gonna have my days just like everybody else.
Yeah,
but if
definitely, yeah.
I try to figure my way out of it, and I think I get this from my mom. Like I don't want to be a burden to anybody, but I really value. I think maybe it's like being an East Coast, Northeast kind of person, but I like people who are direct. I like people who call me out. In the moment, I might be a little tiny bit hurt. I'm not super emotional. I'm more logical in nature. But tell me, you know, like if I'm making you feel a certain way, please let me know that, because that's not my intention. And I need to, you know, figure out how to not make you feel that way, but by also like getting what I need. So just communication, you know, like you got to communicate. And I think many people stay quiet about things for too long that are bothering them. And that's why so many relationships don't work out.
This is true.
Yeah, they let it build, and then finally it's like, I can't take it anymore.
So is there a way of being direct but not sounding like an asshole?
You got to have the warmth. I've actually just listened to a podcast on this too. I'm such a nerd.
What do you mean by the warmth? Like,
so,
for example, you are gaining a little bit of weight.
Okay.
How do you, like, be direct but not asshole-ish?
I think this is in my wheelhouse, so I think I might have actually some. There are going to be some that are going to be really hard to deal with, but I think with the weight thing, I think if somebody's gaining weight, they usually know it. I would probably approach it from, and if they're gaining weight, I think it's probably something they're dealing with, because they're doing it out of emotional, you know, fulfillment. They're trying to like get something that they're missing from food, so I would just approach it in a way that's like, hey, I've noticed you're a little different lately. Like, is everything okay?
Oh, that's
They
good.
may just be like holding on to something. They gotta let it out. Like, how can I help you? Like, do you just need to like, maybe they need to talk it out. Maybe, you know, and like, I'm a trainer. So if they're my friend, like, I'm not gonna do this for everybody because I don't work for free. You know, but, and my friends wouldn't expect me to. But if they're really, you know, important to me, I might say like, hey, do you wanna like come to the gym with me one time? Like, maybe I could show you some exercise. Or like maybe they already go to the gym and they haven't been in ages. Like, hey, like I noticed you haven't been to the gym in ages. Like, let's go together. Let's go do this thing together.
Ooh, okay.
Or let's go on a hike, or let's go do something active. It's amazing how much just moving your body can make you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even especially outside. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just maybe go about it without being direct in that. If it's something that will offend them.
Yeah.
What is going on in your life? Talk to me. You know.
How about feelings? It's like, oh, why are you acting that way? How do you be direct with that? What's the best approach for?
I need a more specific example
because.
because.
Let's see. I'm trying. The whole gaslighting thing. So it's like it's more of, I'm telling you something. But you know what? That's a bad example. Forget it. You know what? I'll get back to that.
Okay.
I'll get back to that. But I do like the whole direct thing. Why is it when, and you and I talk about this, when we ask, it could go around too, when we ask what do you want to eat and you say nothing but you expect something, what's that about? Or is that something a guy
I'm not that person because, so I really don't, a lot of times I just want something healthy, and I'll just say that, like, as long as we eat somewhere that has something healthy, and they understand what my version of healthy means.
Yeah.
Because that means different things to different people. I'm kind of a psycho, and I get that. So I need to communicate that. I cannot, again, owning your shit, I cannot be mad at you if I tell you, if you ask me, what do I want, and I say nothing, that's on me.
Okay.
If I get anything more than nothing, then, like, I did not respond correctly. That's my fault. I did not properly communicate to you what I wanted. If I'm internally like, oh, I just want, because, okay, many women are going to say,
Yes.
oh, but I just want him to, and yeah, like, that's great, but men and women are not built the same way. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen this video of this guy who explains a man's brain and a woman's brain, how, like, the man has a box of nothing and the woman is just, like,
yes,
crazy spiraling and we're connecting and we're like, what's wrong with... You have to understand who you're talking to, you know? And, like, you cannot expect somebody to read your mind. They're not a mind reader. So if you don't communicate, and that goes for both ways, you know? Because when you're, like, sitting there being quiet, we might be thinking, because we're probably thinking a million things, that, oh, he's thinking something, he's thinking about another girl, no, you're there in your box of nothing thinking about probably, like, what your next meal is or something, and, like, that's it.
That's facts,
That's it.
girl.
So, like, if I want to know what you're thinking about, instead of being like, oh, you're probably thinking, what are you thinking about?
Right. Oh, okay.
Just ask the question, you know? Like, it's simple. And if you are sitting there stewing and holding on to it, that's on you. You know, like, you have not communicated. I think that's what it all comes down to.
Okay.
And owning your own
yes.
stuff. Like, what you say, mean it. Mean what you say what you mean.
Do you think it's maturity that gets a person to this type of level? Or is it because they've been through a lot now that it's just because they know now? What do you think it is?
I'm trying to think about why most women, because I'm not most women, would say nothing. And maybe it's coming from a place of not wanting to feel like a burden. Maybe it's coming from a place of, I don't know, just maybe they have the expectation that you should know. You should, and if that's the case, if that's the case, then I don't want to be around that kind of person because you know, whether male or female, like, you can't expect something from somebody if they don't know you well enough, or even if they do know you well enough, you can't always know what somebody's thinking. So just communicate. Easy.
Oh my gosh.
It's easy. It's a solution to all problems.
It's so hard nowadays because you're afraid of saying the wrong thing or even offending someone.
Yeah.
You know, because there's been times where I know people that they want a specific gift, but they don't get the gift. You know, and they throw a big deal about it, and it's like, oh, thank you, but this is not what I want, right? Opposed to me, I tell my wife, like, she asks me what I want, like, let's say for a Father's Day gift, I'm like, no, you know what? A Big Mac and 24 hours of being by myself, you know? And then she would turn around and get me, like, a tie, you know, per ejemplo, she never done this, but a tie. And I'm like, oh, thanks for the tie. I love the gesture, but...
You did not listen to me.
That's
the other part of it. You can't just communicate. You also have to listen.
See? Oh, my God. We do this when we're young.
It's so weird, communication. It's like listening and like speaking your truth. Like, if you tell me one thing, why am I gonna... Like, you've already told me the answer to the question.
Yeah, why would I do something else?
You're going to get me what you want to get me anyway, so don't even ask the question, you know?
Wow.
So, I don't know. It's just, I am a very direct, open person, and I know if I don't communicate, and that's the other thing, too, is, like, asking for things. I've gotten better. I've always been a very independent person. I've been had to be an independent person from a very young age.
Yeah.
My dad left, so I felt like I had to step up and help my mom. And so but I'm also not the girl who, like, I love it when guys open the door for me. I want to be in my feminine. I like, you know, I love the traditional gentleman type of situation. It's not necessarily an expectation, but it's a major green flag for me.
Yeah.
So I would say, you know, just, I feel like, where are we going? I'm
lost too. We're on a tangent.
I'm lost. We're on a tangent. We're gone. We went off. No, but I would just say, you know, like, I think that the traditional gentleman is my type of ideal partner. And because I've been so independent for so long, I don't like to ask for help. It's just not my go-to. I'm a figure it out person. They call it FITFO, right?
Yes.
Figure it out. I don't like to bother anybody to ask them stupid questions. But I've gotten better about that. Like, that's part of my growth journey, is asking for help. Men love to help out if a woman asks.
That's
but I have to ask. I have to ask the question. I can't expect them to just help me if they don't know that I need help, right? Because I also look like the kind of person who's just gonna do it myself anyways. So I mean, I feel like it's a lot of weird expectations these days. You know.
These weird expectations. Do you expect them on the first date?
I think one of the issues with dating these days, for me at least, is that people. I am very specific, right? I don't have a lot of time to go on all these dates. I'm gonna spend a lot more time on a date getting ready than my male counterpart probably is. I think there should be that there's more investment in time on our part because we're getting ready. We're, I don't go out and always get a new outfit or anything like that. But anyways, I'm only going to go on a small number of dates versus a lot of people just date and date and date.
Yeah, a serial datist.
The problem for that is, and I think that's a lot of people these days, is that you are not going to spend the same amount of effort, especially as a man, if you're paying. You're not going to spend the same amount of effort on every single date.
Gosh,
and here's the thing about effort, right? Effort, and I'm logical, not emotional. A little emotional sometimes, but effort does not increase over time.
Yeah.
It usually goes the other way. So if you are showing up on it, and I don't go on that many dates, so I'm expecting your best self to show up, right? That does not mean monetarily. That does not mean but put your best foot forward, right? In a job, especially in a relationship. If you are searching, like I am, for the person who you're going to spend eternity with, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not going to try to know that on the first date. I want to get to know you better. But that is what I have my sights on, is finding that person. Are you that person or not? If you show up and you're not putting your best foot forward and you're not putting effort in, even to just mention what may be a good date, like a man who will say, what do you want to do? I want you to just take me on a date. I mean, maybe you tell me what I'm going to do. I love a man who's like, I'm picking you up at 6. Don't worry about what we're doing. Wear this kind of outfit. Done. I am you've already got me pretty much, Right. Yeah. So that is so attractive to me, is a man who is confident, who is just this is what we're doing. Obviously, I have to be free, check my schedule or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm picking you up at this time. Be ready. I got you. That's so attractive.
Is that hard? Is it hard to find men like that on the island organically, or do you have to go on say these sites?
Well, that's the thing too, is I'm not a big drinker, so I don't really go out to bars. I don't get into a lot of situations to meet a lot of new people. That's on me. I need to go and make time to be able to do that. So yeah, for me it does kind of fall on the apps, but I have not found the apps to really work all that well.
Really?
I mean, I've been on them for so long that
Yeah.
I still am not. That doesn't necessarily mean they don't work. I know there's people out there who they have worked for, but
it just hasn't worked for you yet.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I'm still staying positive.
Yeah.
My person is out there somewhere. But yeah, I feel like it's difficult because I'm a big effort person. And like I said, it does not necessarily mean that you have to take me to the nicest restaurant. But if you're out there serial dating and you're not showing up with much effort for me, I'm gonna think well, this isn't gonna get better. So I've already crossed you off. You're not it for me,
Has anyone came close to?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. Is I think because I am so picky that once I have some level of connection with somebody, it's a thing a little bit difficult for me because I think I present myself not purposely, I guess, but as a very strong, confident woman.
Yeah. When
I find that man who makes me feel like I can be more in my feminine, I change a little bit, right? Now I feel like I can relax. I can take a breath. I can be more in my feminine, and I'm not so much in that one that I guess I show most people. So I think that switch up kind of throws people off a little bit. Because again, trying to take why am I still single? Trying to take ownership. I think I might be hard to date a little bit too. I'm busy. I like to communicate, but not all day long. I'm not a texter. I want to communicate, and I want to connect with you in person. I'm too busy to be on my phone all day. I don't want to know what you're doing every single second, and I don't want you to know what I'm doing every single second. I want to get to the end of the day and be very excited to then connect with you and have you be my not if I've had a bad day necessarily, but just well, how was your day, kind of thing, or what's going on in your life right now, or whatever the case is. I want that to be the time that we tell each other all the ins and outs, you know? Because if we talk all day long, there's nothing to talk about at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I've been on this shit for years where during the day when I'm working, I do not communicate with my wife whatsoever. Probably like once or twice, like, oh, how are the kids?
Yeah.
Did you make it to work safe?
Yeah.
Probably that's about it, right?
Right, yeah.
And then on social media, it's kind of fucked up, but like in the very beginning, I blocked like my wife's things because I didn't want to see what was happening with her because
That's
she
kinda
you know,
smart, though.
She's prone to posting, like on Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook. I mean, we got all these social media sites.
Yeah.
So I stopped. But now, I just
Yeah.
refrain myself from going on social media.
Right.
But yeah, like when I get home, I'm like, all right, shoot at me,
Yeah,
like tell me.
let's go.
Because like 30 minutes ago, oh yeah, I'm at the grocery store.
Right.
Should I get broccoli? Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you said there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking the same thing
Yeah.
because I do love the human interaction and not.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also not a small talk person. Like, I want, and there's a level of it, right? But like, I am somebody where if I'm having a conversation, like I'm engaged. Like,
Yes,
I don't want to have my phone on me. Like, unless there's a possible emergency. But nothing is that emergent in my life where if I'm on a date, you never see my phone.
Phones, oh my god, phone's down
And
right
if
in
I
your
see
pocket,
yours
yeah.
more than like twice, I'm out.
You're like,
Because like,
yeah, okay.
I didn't get ready for me to watch you on your phone. You know,
Uh-huh.
like I came to try to make a connection with you, and if you're not that interested, then that's cool. I'll go spend my time doing something much more meaningful. You know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Man, Jenny, I do hope you find your person.
I hope so
girl.
too. I hope so too.
And I honestly believe like it's a mature thing.
Yeah.
Like we're at that age where, I mean, we didn't grow up with the whole social media thing. The social media boom fucking just happened out of nowhere.
Yep.
We had AIM. Like
Right.
that's how we communicated. Now
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
Oh man, remember
So
MySpace?
Yeah. Oh, I should be a coder because of MySpace.
I know, right?
But yeah, I do hope that you find your dude.
Thank you. I hope so too. I have, you got to stay positive, and that's the thing too, is I think that you got to find, if for whatever reason I do not, I got to be okay with being with me,
Yeah.
like
Oh, definitely, yeah.
first I got to love me. So
Yeah.
I just will continue to work on me,
Shit. Well, shit, that was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Jenny, do you have any shout outs or anything, or where could these people find you at?
Well, my Instagram is, I have plenty of them, but Jenny808.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much the best way to find me, I think, right now. I don't really like Snapchat. I feel like if you're a guy and you ask me for my Snapchat, I know you're too young, and if you ask me for my Facebook, you're probably too old. So if you want my Instagram, you're probably around the right age group.
Oh my god. Yeah, definitely DM with a purpose. Well, man, again, that was fun. KO Studios, thank you for the lovely home. Rafi Bite, thank you for the lovely beats, man. And with that, I'm Chris.
I'm Jenny.
And we out this bitch. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. All right, how was that?
It was good.
My girl.
Thank you so
my